And a very warm welcome to you all, wherever you are, to Lockdown SK, the interactive self-isolation talk show, broadcasting to you live from our micro streaming studios here on the beautiful island of Corfu in Greece. And should there be an interruption to today's transmission broadcast, please log on to our website at www.StudioKerkyra.com or the video platform that is Vimeo.com, or else good old YouTube, where, of course, you will see these videos in superb quality HD. And I should add at this point that we may suffer an unexpected power outage. We've had a few little mini power cuts here today, and I'm afraid we can't do anything about that. But fingers crossed, we hope we can get through to the transmission end without any nasties. And always to help me on side next to me, it will be Claire Haas, our producer, who will endeavour to answer all your comments and questions on Facebook Live and take those live Skype calls, should you be brave enough to do so, of course, and we really want you to do so. But having said all of that, I'm also equally lucky to be joined in the micro studio today by the one and only Thomas Haas. Hello, Thomas.
Oh my God, hello man, very well. Thank you, very well done man. Good introduction. Hello everybody, thank you for tuning in, and hello, thanks for watching. It's fantastic. It's a Friday, thanks God it's Friday.
Yes.
We're tweeting, yeah, no, it's Friday. And yes, and we had a sunny day, a little bit windy, but the temperatures are up and these were beautiful. Today, nobody can tease us, really, can they, with the weather?
With the sun, yes. We do appreciate
yesterday.
you teasing us with your sun stories from the UK or wherever else you are in the world. But today we're lucky equally as your good selves with sunshine, and it's been about 18 degrees Celsius, in case you want to know.
Yeah. Nice, a little bit more, I think.
Oh,
but okay, you're up the hill a little bit, so it's
I'm
windy and it's cooler.
Yeah, it's 1 degree or two. You're right. Yes.
But okay, before I say hello to everybody, just to make you aware of, we had already a few power cuts today. So if we just disappear, it's a power cut. We had 3 today already, and this took us by surprise. And this was quite, you know, it makes you unsure when it's just before you go live. You just, oh, please. But if this happens, we're gonna be straight back as soon as the systems are starting up again. And let me say hello to Thomas Fleming, and Jackie Cherry is watching. Lorraine Smith from Portsmouth is watching. Is saying, hope still all safe, still sunny in Pompey. That's good to hear.
Right. Yes, that's
Richard Onslow is watching. Sarah Roseman is watching. Vivian Dole is watching from Ireland. Hello, Vivi. She says, hi, all.
Hi.
So, great. Nikos Louvros is watching. Here we are again. Good evening, everybody. Good evening to you, Nikos and Annabelle, of course.
Absolutely.
Then Julie Cam is watching. Thanks, Julie. This is Boots. We have to give a shout out to Boots.
Walgreen Boots. Judy Cam is the wonderful contributor to this programme, living up in Edinburgh, I do believe, that fabulous Gothic city. Oh, it's a great city. We haven't been to it. One day you will, I hope, after lockdown. And she's been volunteering to do tests for NHS workers against COVID-19, and she sent us in some photographs the other day. So it's always good to see you, Julie, and everyone else who bothers to write in. We absolutely love hearing from you, and a very good afternoon, and welcome aboard, as they say. Thomas, can I just say...
wait, I have a couple of... I'm just getting out of the way.
Okay.
I say hello quickly to everybody, and then we're going to go into your comments, but you got a couple of things there. Well, give me quick a minute.
Cigar.
It's Steve Bowers is watching. Margaret Johnston is watching. Nikos, I said, is watching. Melita is watching. Hi, Melita, thanks for watching. Tom Giddings is watching. Bo Dew is watching, and Sarah Roseman is watching. Hi guys, thank you so much. I'm going on to your comments in a second, but you wanted to say something.
Well, I did. Well, I wanted to address, first of all, no particular order, but Nico springs to mind. Nico and Annabelle Louvros there in London. Thank you, Nico, for telling me about the origin of the name Boris, which comes from the Bulgar. Very
Johnson.
interesting. No? Yes, Boris Johnson, but the origin of the name of Boris, which actually comes from Central Asia, Central Europe, Eurasia, I should say.
Eurasia.
A very interesting little piece there on his post, or the studio's post actually yesterday. And also Lavinia, Vinny, bless you, I'd like to say thank you very much for your warm sentiments about the wretched, horrible doctor. I should at this point out to say at least that all the staff at that surgery practice that I mentioned yesterday are not involved in any way, shape or form whatsoever. Nothing to do with them. They're all wonderful, hard-working people dedicated to the NHS. It was just this one rogue doctor from a few years back. So let's be clear about that. But I stand by the story that I said yesterday. And there's no place in my head or anyone else's at StudioKerkyra for compulsory euthanasia at 75 years of age.
Definitely. And Nikos were commenting on that. quickly, and he said, "Yeah, but Boris is still not talking to us."
No, that's a good point, Nico. He's not. He's more bothered with Trump, although I expect he's had.
Yeah, Nicholas is writing on the bottom. He said he is talking with him about disinfectants.
I thought I was just going to say that, Nico. You took the words right out of my mouth. I think they're having a great Lysol conversation right now, or a bit of Dettol. Yes, we'll talk about that later because that's the star piece of information that we're going to talk about.
Yeah, later. Definitely. And I got some stuff. Let me say hello to people. Julie Cam is writing in. He said, "Hi guys, hope you're all safe and well. Testing about to go crazy in the UK."
Yes, 100,000 tests a day they're trying to achieve. Whether they will or not, I don't know. Let's hope the test kits are accurate rather than the ones before that were inaccurate.
So let's see if they can reach the figure of 100,000. Would be interesting. I'm just looking on. I'm getting a lot in, guys. I hope I'm not missing here anything. I'm just want to make sure. Tom Giddings is writing in. "Hi, everybody. Tom here from sunny Biddeford, Devon."
Great, Biddeford. Lovely place.
And here we go on about you. I hope you and all in Corfu are safe and well. Yes, we are safe. Thank you. And
thank you.
Great. We the lucky ones, I think. Sarah Roseman is saying, "Hello, guys. Sitting in the garden in sunny Kent."
Oh, great. How lovely, Sarah.
And Christopher Dabana just tuned in.
I wonder what he's baking today, Thomas. It's always exciting to know what people are baking. Although one of our viewers is bit fed up with baking, actually. That's Marcus Bennison, who phoned the programme a couple of weeks ago.
Baking?
He's moaning about baking, so he's turned his hand to gardening, so he says.
Did he?
Yes, yes. He's baked out.
He's baked
or baked off, I should say. We're not baked off. No, don't hold back with your baking tips or comments. We like to hear them. We love talking about food. Any excuse, mind you. It'd be better if we actually ate some of these wonderful delights and gave you the benefit of our culinary experience. So don't hold back, guys. Send us in your baking experiments. We don't mind.
Yeah, Margaret Johnson is just saying, "Glad he's not my GP. Would only got 5 years to complete my bucket list."
Oh, so, Margaret. Well, we'll try to help you to do that, but absolutely not. You're far too young. No. We can't be thinking of that. Look, my aunt lived to 102. Another aunt lived to 92. So I'm a firm believer of longevity.
Good, and thank you for writing in. Thank you for commenting. But we're in a good mood today. Okay, why not? You know, it's Friday. The weekend is coming. Okay, we can't go out, but it's still weekend, isn't it?
We can let our hair down, can't we? Little bit.
Totally. And if you want to comment live here now, do it. So with the comments, if I miss one, I apologize, but I'm doing my utmost best to read everything. If you have something longer to say, just write us an email to inbox@StudioKerkyra.com. And if you want to talk with us on one of the shows live, send us an email or send us a message on Skype, and that's at StudioKerkyra. And let's go. Vinny is watching. Hi, Vinny. Thanks for tuning in. But let's go over to the news a little bit. Or do you got something else?
I just got a few more things. On the subject of Vinny, hello, Vinny. She has traced her family back to 943 AD, would you believe? And she informs us very proudly she's a Celt and not English, and she's not Turkish. That made me laugh, Winnie. Also, can I just say hello to Vivienne there in beautiful County Donegal, who would like to send her love to all those wonderful people in Clomos. So consider it done, Vivienne. We will pass on your love to Clomos, beautiful village here on the southwest coast of the island. And I thank David Roseman for telling us yesterday, would you believe this, Thomas, that the House of Lords peers still want to claim their £332 per day attendance fee, even though they're at home,
sitting at home
video conferencing. How about that?
I mean, this is, exploit the situation. This is, why we are all surprised that things like this happen. I mean, this happened in the past, not with something like that, but, where MPs are just going in, have somebody locking him in without him being there, and he gets money paid. So, I mean, every opportunity they have not to move, they obviously take, and they say, it's lockdown. But you know what, you sitting at home, and so is millions of other sitting at home, and they don't have a job, and they don't know where the money is coming from for next month's rent and all this thing. So,
okay,
it's a little bit.
We accept that the peers have some expenses with secretaries and other legal and no doubt telephone charges and all the rest of it. But £332 a day when they're not even there, that's excessive in my book.
Yeah, definitely.
Thomas, can I just say a quick something else to somebody else? Which I totally lost, actually. No, it was Haiva Ilta for Army, our wonderful friend there in Finland, who made me laugh yesterday, Thomas, because she suggested that I teach Vinny Finnish. Have you ever heard such an extraordinary thing? I only know 2 expressions in Finnish. I don't think poor Vinny's going to get very far with that one.
No, but when I looked through the chat yesterday, it was quite interesting, so summer holiday in Finland, and I thought a couple of our viewers were quite interested in that one, and so are ourselves, so maybe we can put
absolutely.
a 1-week road
Wouldn't
trip
it
through Finland. Would be great.
To go through all those lakes and forests and the land of the midnight sun and see all those wonderful animals. And I like the idea of all those saunas and the plunge pools and dipping and all that healthiness. I probably say that because I'm a bit unhealthy. But though the whole thought of Finland really greatly appeals. Absolutely, Thomas. In fact, wouldn't it be great to do a road trip right across Europe and extol the virtues of this, our continent of Europe?
Definitely. And let me carry on with good news.
Great.
Let me give you some good news. And this is one of the patients what had COVID-19 here from Corfu and been away on in a hospital, recovered and should be very soon released on his way back home.
Wonderful.
So that's good news.
That is indeed.
Well, it's brilliant, when this works like that, it's fine. I think it's great. So it's good for the person, of course. Yeah. And if we can keep the island like we have it at the moment,
it's good all
it's
around,
brilliant. It's good all around.
Absolutely.
Definitely. The other news is there were the local teachers demonstrating today on Corfu because they were worried about the education of their pupils.
Right.
So I think it's a fair...
yes, a fair concern.
Concern from them, definitely.
I dare say a lot of children have been missing out, and it's hard to learn from home, however structured your regime might be using the internet. I read a report the other day from America that said state school pupils are starting to fall well behind, and it's only the private school sector of the United States, that have kept pace. I don't know why that should be the case, but that was the report. And yes, I would share some of the teachers here in Greece's concern, actually, Thomas.
Definitely, it has to be a concern because when they go for summer holidays, they're nearly off for 3 months.
Yeah.
Now with the lockdown, it makes it much, much harder to get your education. So, but you know what? They prevailed what they did so far with everything. They responded very quick, and I think they can find a solution. No? That we have quick people, this is how they make themselves heard here. They demonstrate peacefully, quickly. They let their voice out. They let their opinion out. So I'm here. You can't ignore me. And I think it's a great way. They're not obstructing anything. They just, give you their opinion straight on, and it's brilliant. That's how it should be.
Oh, totally. Absolutely.
So, next move. Next news is there's 34 cases of coronavirus and 3 deaths in a health clinic near Athens. So that's the story broke with the health minister. He wasn't very happy about that when these really bad run private clinics.
Really? Okay.
So they were really bad run, and they just found out that within the clinic near Athens there are 34 people in there who have COVID-19, plus 3 of them died. I mean, yesterday somebody died quite quickly after they found out about it. So they're clamping down on that, and they're gonna be something else. When I just switch over here quickly, because here I got a prosecutor in the port town of Piraeus opened an investigation on Friday into an anonymous report that a health clinic in the area is concealing from authorities a number of coronavirus infections. This is from ekatermarini.com. Thank you, Melita. Melita was sending that over to Claire, and she let us know. But what you say to that is not just outside Athens, it's Piraeus too.
Yes, that's all a bit scary. And don't forget, there's the migrant camps in the islands of Lesbos and the others there that they're very concerned about. It goes back to the old thing, insufficient testing, I'm afraid. We'd never really know until everybody was tested exactly the extent of this COVID-19 here in Greece or anywhere else.
Yeah, and it just undermines the effort this government made.
Yes,
they locked down early enough. They responded very, very well, quicker than most other countries. That's why we're in such lucky position now. We have to acknowledge that. It's simple as that. And they really do the utmost best to get this under control and open up their country for the tourist season, what is so important here. It is extremely important.
Absolutely.
So they're doing really everything to give you a safe environment, even when you come on holiday now. And hopefully they're talking about now June already. we heard a few things, but I looked in today and last night, and it's a little bit confusing when you hear the dates. So
we're very unsure. Basically, we're not going to advise you either way until we know more information. We've told you already that staff crews for EasyJet are on furlong until at the end of May. And we've also heard about the health passport issue and other documentation that might be needed. And we've also heard from the airlines themselves of the sheer logistical nightmare that they will have when flights do resume again. It's not going to be a straightforward, easy process, is it?
No, of course not. I mean, it's with the airlines. They built the German newspaper would put something stupid out
Bild,
again.
Was it you said?
Sorry?
Bild.
The Bild.
Yes.
They built about flights resuming in June.
Really?
And so, and yes, and this is so great, making Greece hope by saying, hey, you got a good chance. You're going to be the top holiday destination this year, going to be Greece. Because Spain, nothing going to be there. Italy and Turkey. So the big rivals are gone for you. So you should be happy. And I thought this article is completely out of place, to be honest.
It's certainly premature. We can agree on that. I don't know what information the gentleman there was drawing on to write that article. And as we promised you before, we will keep you abreast of all developments as and when we get them. Going back to the point you just made about 2 minutes ago, Thomas, yes, indeed, Greece made a dramatic, demonstrative effort right early on, which was on the 27th of February when they cancelled all the carnivals.
Yeah.
Because all large social gatherings, that's where this disease festers most and infects the most numbers. And I'll draw your attention to a certain football match that happened in the United Kingdom in March, I think it was, at Anfield in Liverpool, between Liverpool Football Club, great football club, of course, and Atletico Madrid. I think there were 60,000 souls in the stadium there, and they're absolutely sure that the rather larger than they would have expected, outbreak of COVID-19 cases in the northwest of England is down to that one football match. Incidentally, they're also investigating Cheltenham, the Cheltenham Gold Cup and the festival that was held around about the similar time. I think there were over 100,000 people that attended that festival.
Yeah, but the Cheltenham Festival is back on. And
it's been and gone.
It's again, this is the news comes and goes with information. But I read
we mentioned it on the programme, whether they were going to cancel it or weren't. This is at least 2 or 3 or 4 weeks ago. But it actually went ahead. I've seen the photographs. There were 100 or more thousand people there.
Yeah.
And they're looking into whether there's any correlation to that event to the spread of COVID-19. They're pretty sure they've ascertained a direct link between the football match in Anfield, part of the European Champions League, I do believe, between Atletico and Madrid with Liverpool Football Club. That one match, 60,000 in the stadium, they are absolutely sure that the Public England, this is, looking into it, is a direct correlation between increased cases of COVID-19 in the northwest of England.
I mean, having a football match with 60,000 people attending, and then what is music festival? No,
the Cheltenham Gold Cup, the horse racing.
The horse racing, exactly. Yeah. That was on the same thing. I mean, it's crazy when you just hear that now.
Absolutely.
And they knew exactly what's going to happen.
Absolutely.
So they were asking any questions if this was the right decision from the government, and they're going to backtrack anyway. So
well, it's a good job that they didn't run the Grand National also at Aintree, and instead they did a virtual race, which we covered extensively here on Lockdown SK, and that seemed to me a jolly good thing to do this year. No horses were hurt as well, incidentally.
That was great. That virtual game was fantastic. That horse race.
Well,
that's how it is. But okay, let me quickly say hello to Yannis, hello to Steve Ford, and hello to Lev Derry. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. So, and I think this is all locally. So, with the holiday news now, don't worry. Just keep calm at the moment, because we are well prepared. Greece is well prepared. They're putting everything into action of what's going to happen, and the EU is already doing something with travel permits or passports, what a COVID passport or something. They
health
issue.
Passport.
Health. Yeah,
they mentioned it.
Yeah. So it's great, and let's just hang in a couple of weeks and see what's going on. I think it's going to be all right.
It's positive.
It's very positive. Yeah, I'm happy about it.
Oh, good. On the downside, just quickly, while I remember to tell you, there was some hope in the United States of a antiviral treatment that's been around for years. Retrovir or something, I think it was called. Gilead Life Sciences were the people doing it. Well, the tests have failed, Thomas. They had a control test in China, of all places, 268 people, but a lot of them died. And it slowed the disease down, not one iota. So that's one vaccine that's gone. But they're still hopeful.
In England,
Professor Sarah Gilbert, yes, Oxford University, they are currently testing. I think I've only got had a couple of people at the moment, but that will extend over the next coming days. So, and she said, she's repeated it many times, she's 80% certain that it will be
it's going to work.
Yeah. But as we said the other day, we mildly smiled to ourselves because there was an 80% chance that it was going to rain here, and at that particular time, guess what? It didn't.
No,
so
it was
just
quite,
because there's an 80% chance doesn't mean to say it's going to happen.
It's all speculation.
Yes,
so,
of course.
And somehow you have to. It's speculation. You can move forward a little bit. You know, you have your figures, and that's what you can work with, and that's what they're doing. But I'm sure they're doing their best, and hopefully, that brings something. But when they said it takes 3 to 6 weeks for the first thing, and then is another. Somebody said 6 months, so altogether
in London
6 months
and he's
before
right there. Yes,
they have anything confirmed. So, and that's a long time still.
Yeah,
no?
yeah.
And then the new thing what came on, let's talk quickly, is about the heat. Warmth, the weather, and moisture. Yeah,
yes.
But that comes now from the United States, no, and we love the story what came out.
Well, it's extraordinary, Thomas. You're talking about the press conference
great.
at the White House yesterday with I'm going to say Dr. Donald Trump. There's a Freudian slip there. I'll tell you why. I'll say that in a minute. But he was addressing his normal people, and there was the lady that she's been around there in all those conferences, Dr. Deborah Birx, her name is Birx, I do believe, and she. What's interesting is that normally when you see a White House press conference, you're used to looking at the angle square on, so you see the president right in the middle of your screen. Well, someone, a very clever photojournalist, was sitting on the side, and he managed to get a complete different side angle, totally squarely focused on this Deborah Birx's face. And as Donald Trump, President of the United States, was going on about radiation inside the body, drinking cleaning fluids, chlorine, and all the rest of it,
high-powered light outside and inside the body.
Absolutely.
And did he really
suggest
to?
He did. Can I, Thomas? I've got the transcript.
I'm still bewildered from what he said.
Let me read the transcript from beginning to end, and this is courtesy of the BBC. But I have to say, I have checked it out on Twitter, so I've seen and heard it and watched it myself. And here it goes. He said this: "So, supposing we hit the body with a tremendous, whether it's ultraviolet or just a very powerful light." And I think you said that hasn't been checked, but you're going to test it. And then I said, supposing you brought the light inside of the body, which you can do either through the skin or in some other way. And I think you said you're going to test that too. Sounds interesting. And then I see the disinfectant where it knocks it out in a minute, 1 minute. And is there any way we can do something like that by injection inside or almost a cleaning? I'm not a doctor, but I'm like a person that has a good you-know-what.
It's great. It's a fantastic...
What does he mean, you-know-what?
No
well, Mr. President, we don't know what. And we do know one thing. You're no doctor.
Yeah, but he knows everything.
Oh, right.
If you ask him, he knows everything. But just in case somebody out there, please don't try that.
They're extremely hazardous,
chlorine or disinfectant in your body because you're going to die.
Yeah, yes, the manufacturers of Lysol and Dettol, Reckitt Benckiser, a great big multinational firm who make all sorts of cleaning products, have issued a very strong statement today. Obviously, they don't want to get sued. It's clearly marked on their bottles of all their products, not for human ingestion. And to have a president suggest you drink bleach or Dettol or any of these other things, Lysol, I mean, this is absolutely crazy. Just to ram home the point, the United States Food and Drug Administration have seriously warned against using disinfectants and bleach and any cleaning products by injecting to fight COVID-19 because of life-threatening low blood pressure, liver failure, and severe diarrhea and vomiting. And also, would you believe that in early March, there was a sudden spike in suspected poison cases in clinics right across America for people drinking bleach, would you believe?
Yeah, I'm not totally surprised. I mean, you know what, when he says it, there must be other out there. They're putting 2 and 2 together in their heads, you know? Well, it makes sense. It's logic. Without reading. That's, you know what, without reading, there's the warning labels on the bottle. They tell you that, you know, and they anyway so pedantic with it. You have to put every little bit on there to give the warning. So when people don't see that, it's incredible. But you know what, just him giving that advice.
Well, it's extraordinary.
the Greeks would say "apistevdo," no, unbelievable.
That's the polite expression. Yes, absolutely.
Could be like. But there's another thing. If get this out, just please. They started now. This made me laugh. Yeah, and that's that here. No, please mark yourself safe from Donald Trump's medical advice today. Go on Facebook and mark
Absolutely.
yourself as safe, because that's a thing. No?
Maybe these people had the same maths teacher as Priti Patel. We'll get to her in a bit. She's not escaping, don't worry. The other thing is, Thomas, you'll be pleased to know that last week a federal judge managed to get a temporary, I have to say, injunction out to stop an organisation called Genesis 2 Church of Health and Healing from promoting and marketing the same chemical composition as what's included in industrial bleach. Can you believe?
I'm nothing surprises me anymore, man. We're doing now the lockdown for 37 days.
That's true.
In these 37 days, this took his toll on us a little bit, especially when you try to research, when you try to find out what is true, what is fake. Now, I mean, if you go after President Trump, then don't believe anything the CNN says. What I think, it's appalling. I watch these press conferences, and these poor journalists sitting there, and getting abused from a president, but more, it's personal. This is so a personal attack from that man. What the guy is asking him questions, and every time there's an uncomfortable question, he doesn't want to answer.
Of course not.
He said, "Oh, you are fake. Exactly. All of you are fake. You fake news." Come on, man. It's like a spoiled teenager.
Of course.
That's how he is.
Narcissist, we can agree
it's
that.
Unbelievable.
And the journalist from CNN called Jim Acosta, he's had a terrible time with him. Just to ram home the point about how dangerous disinfectants and cleaning products are, a recent study showed that bleach could kill... this is what they were saying. Donald Trump claimed that bleach could kill virus within 5 minutes with saliva and respiratory fluids. He doesn't know what he's talking about because it's extremely lethally dangerous and poisonous.
Yeah, but I get some good comments in here. Let me say hello quickly to Jason Kapadistrias and Dara Ruki saying, "Stunning day in Dublin, guys. Cheers. Cheers to you, Dara.
Right, hello.
Thank you. Georgius Soros, sorry about it. Is just writing. Tell him to try it first."
Good one, Georgius. Absolutely, yes, totally right.
But I got our Vivian. Vivian is writing in. Let's give Trump the same injection they give Texas prisoners. That will sort him out.
Legally so, absolutely, yes, totally.
And yes, Trump should be listened to with a warning danger, idiot at work sign on him. I mean, maybe we get him a t-shirt, you never know.
Yes, and here's a thing, just imagine this, a wonderful quote from the great American author Mark Twain. We've all heard of him, Huckleberry Finn and the Adventures of Tom Sawyer. He said this when he was alive, which was a long time ago, 150 years ago or more: "No amount of evidence will ever persuade an idiot." That's about right, isn't it?
I mean, yeah, totally. He's not believing anything somebody else says. No. So, and that's disturbing, especially for a president who runs, one of the biggest economies in the world. Absolutely. And I say, "Oh, what's going on?" But it's also his supporters. When you see them on the streets now, they have enough. After 3 weeks, they're giving up. That's it. Shows you something about stamina in the States. 3-4 weeks, and they are all breaking. Look at the rest of the world. We are all taking it. Okay, there are some people who ignore it, but not en masse, and especially no demonstrations anywhere about what they do. And when you hear these people, when they speak and they tell you the reason for it, you get into a state where, okay, did I just hear that right, or do I dream now? Is this now a bad dream? I wake up and we carry on. It's really bad, and it's uncomfortable to watch.
It's unbelievable, Thomas. Yeah. And I think that he's the president of the United States. I mean, it's diabolical, really. And it's always he's lining up all these fall guy persons, isn't he? Dr. Birx there, but also Dr. Fauci, who's been by his side and covered his face more times than I care to remember with sheer embarrassment. I don't know what these people must think when they go home. They've dedicated their lives to the top end of science, given it their all, and they hear things like you should be drinking bleach or have your body irradiated with UV light and all the rest of it. I mean, for goodness sake.
I know.
It's mind-boggling.
Totally. It's bewildering. You look. But let me say, hello, to Sally Roberts. Hello from Chile, West Cornwall. So the first one is not it's not
Oh,
sunny.
sorry to hear
Shame.
that, Sally. We'll
But
bring some
thanks
warmth
for
to you
watching.
from StudioKerkyra. Lockdown.
Yeah, and Tara is saying, hey, it's a scary man. He's definitely scary.
Here, here.
You know, I mean, you got an insane person with so much power. This must be first in history of mankind.
Well, I wouldn't go that far.
I mean,
I don't know. Of the
seriously,
modern
okay,
age.
there were others,
Of the
you know,
modern
of the
age.
modern
Okay,
age, probably.
yes,
Okay,
yes.
yeah, but I'm still thinking. I don't know what to say, to be honest. But hey,
Bated breath for the November elections if they go ahead, of course.
yeah. If they go ahead, if he's
Yeah.
not fiddling around with that again. But hey, okay,
Yeah,
that's
good
another thing. Let me say quick to Lavinia. She's saying, hello, chappies and chappises. I'm including Annabelle and Nikos in that. That's good one. I'm so glad you are all happy today. It's because the sun is out.
Very true,
Of
Vinny.
course it is. It's the
Yes.
sun rays.
Vitamin
you know?
D,
Vitamin
very
D.
good, and no doubt Mr. Trump thinks that's a very handy fighter against COVID-19. I did read somewhere actually that exposing your body to as much vitamin D naturally from the sun is a good thing to be healthy all round. But I don't think anyone is foolish enough to make a claim that exposing yourself to excessive sun is going to create a panacea for COVID-19. More likely you end up with skin cancer. But anyway, look, that's America, Thomas. Shall we just quickly say something about Europe? Because they've been struggling over the last few... Oh, do you want to go?
One thing I want to finish off here quick. Lavinia was writing in saying, by the way, I didn't trace my family tree. My father and first cousin did all the hard work. I was amazed to find how far people walked back in the 19th century to find work.
Oh, right, yeah.
One of my ancestors was a stonemason, part of a large Welsh contingent.
Yeah.
Contingent
Yeah.
in Liverpool. He walked his mother to Algesley from Liverpool to build the
Anglesey, the island of
Menai
Anglesey.
Bridge.
Beautiful. Oh, they're across the Menai
From
Bridge. Menai
Thomas
Straits.
Telford, yeah.
Yes, Telford. Oh, great engineer.
That's
Marvellous
great.
civil.
She smiles. It's definitely. Thanks, guys, for
Thank you,
writing in.
yeah,
Great.
sure.
But, the messages are moving constantly when I try
You
to
have to
read
keep up
them.
with them. It's difficult, isn't it? I know.
It's funny, but it's good. Thank you for writing in, guys. But you wanted to go over
Just
to
quickly
Europe.
about Europe, because there's been a lot of news recently about they can't agree a rescue package, although they've already released a few. The ECB did 750 billion euros a few weeks back, and they did another one recently. They've been working on a €1 trillion package, and there's been a lot of infighting between so-called northern EU states and the southern states. Italy has been particularly critical, but you'll be very pleased to know eventually agreement has been made. Italy is now pleased with the result for now, and they yesterday agreed a €540 billion rescue package for particularly the southern states, Italy and Spain. This money is going to be available, I do believe, on the 1st of June. And the reason I mention it is because people are always moaning about the EU and trying to bash it, and no institution is perfect. And of course, there are a lot of things wrong with the EU. I'd be the first to say that. But let's not dwell on the negative. Let's look at the positive. And it's nice to know that Italy has, he's very pleased. He said it was an important milestone in European history. And this is a man, Mr. Conte, who's been very critical of the EU's response up to now. And the EU said this, Thomas. They said, yes, we argue that, but yes, we argue, but EU solidarity exists. We muddle our way through in the end. And that's exactly right. So it may not be perfect, but at least they're still talking, at least they're still collaborating, and a result can come about, which it just has done now. Of course, Mr. Macron from France is stressing the need for a much greater rescue and bailout package, and they are working on that. There's talk of €1 trillion worth coming down the line, but the 540 billion will be available from the 1st of June.
Great. And I'm getting a lot of comments in regarding our specialist in the United States, Trump.
Good one.
Tom Giddings is saying he loves bleach. Clearly see that by his hair. Yeah, that's
oh, great, Tom. That's a good one, yeah.
Milita is saying he might be crazy and mad, but he's certainly not a Trump.
No, not Trump card. Well
No,
said, Melita,
definitely,
yes. Actually, Vivian came out with a good one about Trump is known as an explanation of rear end air.
Okay.
If you pass wind at the rear end, it used to be known as you're trumping.
Yeah,
so that's
he's a
pretty good as
moral
well.
trump, totally, when you say
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So, okay, I mean,
Keep them
yeah,
coming in,
you
guys.
learn,
We like to have a tittle here, don't we?
definitely, and that's what's
A
all
titter, I should
about, you know. But we want to relax that whole thing a little bit. I mean, it's episode 37 now. We are in already.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's already. So we already over 40 days in lockdown, effectively. And yes, it takes your toll a little bit. You can get, you know, disturbed. You have problems sleeping. You have problems concentrating, like we spoke with Tony as example, no?
Yes, he had writer's block, which he was quite perturbed about. Although we did hear from Alex Preston, who is busy writing a new novel at the moment. So maybe
everybody different.
Exactly,
okay, but Alex is more inspired. He went through quite an ordeal in the last 3 weeks.
True, yes.
You know, and something like this can inspire you.
Indeed.
Definitely.
Trigger the grey salesman obviously has something to say there, and we very much look forward to reading that. From Alex Preston. And we do also hope that Tony, our friend Anthony McGowan in London there, can find the inspiration that he needs to move forward with his latest book. He who wrote the book, How to Teach Philosophy to Your Dog. Oh, and the other one, that's a good one, The Art of Failing. I should know about that myself, Tony. But a whole load of other books as well, yes.
No, it's great. So, no, we were very blessed to have people like that with phone calls here, and they're gonna come more, and we're gonna lay out much more now in future. So, but it's all takes a little bit, and this is more, you know, complicated as you think. It's not easy to get this all in. I mean, we had this your Australian friend wanna call next week, and he had a problem with Skype, but because you know it's a software not everybody uses now. They're using Viber, they're using WhatsApp and this thing, but it's hard to integrate in the system.
It was because he's got an older generation Mac iOS system, but I think he's having trouble upgrading. I can't remember the name of what it is. Some funny name. They give these funny, Candida, is it? I may be wrong there. And he's having compatibility issues with Skype. Can I just say a very good afternoon, good day to all our Australian Oz friends down under. We love you, and we're very pleased to hear that you're watching the program, some of you. And our friend here, Nicholas Johnson, his name is, no relation to the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, I hasten to add. He's going to try to phone us next week, Thomas, and he'll have a big shout out to all his Oz friends. But he is going to take issue with us on the subject of lockdown. So we look forward to a jolly-hearted but heated, nonetheless, debate with Nicholas. Of course it will be great.
Yeah, everybody's allowed his opinion, and we can discuss this a little bit.
Oh, we must.
Hey, and that's the beauty, you know.
Right of reply.
We're at the birthplace of debate, so why should we not use that? But carry on from this Australia now. You know, those Claire's cousin is with his wife. They live in Australia.
Fantastic.
And they are doing a very interesting project. So maybe, guys, you want to check that out. Especially now, sustainability, we're talking all this thing, you know, and going more eco. When we come out of that, we have to make changes.
We do,
they say already. But what they build, they're building their house, and that's called an Earth ship.
Oh, wow.
It's great. So this is there is a guy who founded that. I'm not that very clued up on the whole thing, but they're using
do a crash course.
Yeah, they're using really materials what is sustainable or recycled. I mean, the whole of their house, what is brilliant, is big, is nice, self-sustaining with natural air condition. As example, the wall on the back, it's all built with used tires and sand. And it really, when you see the progress, they have a Facebook page, and I see if I get the link and we post it, have a look at it. But it's a fantastic project, and I think it's great because that what our planet Mother Earth needs.
Absolutely. I knew a bloke in London called Ian. He went off to Australia and started a new life, and he created a whole system of doing a propagation by water. There's a name for it. It's hydroponics.
Hydroponics.
And he's running a very successful mail order business now, doing hydroponics. And that is great for you've got less than ideal growing places, and you can create fantastic harvests, you know, like spices and herbs, for instance.
Without earth.
Basil is one here that might go down well. And there's another one, I can't think what it is now.
But you can grow lots. I saw a great documentary, hydroponic, to grow. They grow tomatoes. I saw were growing. Unbelievable. The salads they grow. They're growing a lot of vegetables inside. It's great, but
mint. No, I've just come into my head. It was mint for those mojito cocktails. That's what it is. I was talking to someone on the island, actually, who's gone into this. I won't say the man's name in case he doesn't want to know, but he's actually a non-Corfu resident who is running hydroponics here, supplying all the cocktail bars in, I think, the south of the island, mint, what he was last year. Don't know what's happening this year, mind you.
What type of?
But it's a great process.
It's a great process. It's a great way of growing, and it's a clean way of growing at the same time.
Yes,
it's all water, it's all filtration, and it's quite clever and great. And they're using it in areas where the soil is not great.
Yes,
so instead of having this in the soil, they can build that. And I saw a lot of projects going on. It's great. It's fantastic.
That's good news, Thomas. Good.
So, to other news, any other news out there? Because I got a shout out then because I have to make people aware soon about something great. But if you got anything news related, let me know.
Yes, you want. I haven't got any bad news, I don't think. That's the wrong sheet.
It's the wrong sheet.
Yes. Here's two bits. I'll go with this first. Greece. Aegean Airways, fantastic airline. They're running a scheme now where if you they run a scheme called Miles Plus Bonus, where the number of flights you take, you build up a collection of points, rather like other airlines do. And they've sent out emails in the last 2 weeks asking you to donate, if you wouldn't mind, donating your air miles, or it's not called air miles, it's called Miles Plus Bonus, to help the Greek frontline medical workers have a holiday after all this dreadful COVID-19. Apparently, they need 20,000 points that will get the medical worker plus their loved one to go to any destination within Greece for a holiday. And I did so. I didn't have many miles, but I donated my paltry 4,000 to the local hospital on the mainland, Ioannina. I can't say. I knew I wasn't going to say it. Thank you. Yes, that one.
Hospital.
Because I think it's a great one.
Well done, mate.
Yes, it is. The scheme is called "The Least We Can Do for Those Who Do Everything for Us." And that's a great scheme offered by Aegean Airways. Obviously, there are others around the world, and if there are, please let me know. I'd love to hear about that.
Great. And while we're talking about hydroponics, here my little writing, my friend Harris has a hydroponic farm and grows the best lettuce and strawberries.
Oh, fantastic.
He was the first in Corfu to do this near Halikunas.
Really? That's
so it's not far from us here, man.
I'm very intrigued to hear more about that. That's great. Especially the strawberries.
See, maybe you can hook us up with that, please, Melita, and we can do a little clip about that.
Yes,
this would be great.
I think
that's a good opportunity. Yeah.
That sounds brilliant. Nice one.
But hey, what we were just talking about now, the last thing, I got totally carried away with this hydrophonic.
Comments. No, I was talking about the points system from Aegean Airways that are being donated to healthcare workers to pay back, to give them a thank you after working so hard and putting their lives at risk on the front line, treating patients with coronavirus. So I think that's a wonderful thing.
That's a great thing. But I got regarding that. I got yesterday an email in regarding the health workers in Greece. So
just one final point I didn't make clear. Whatever points you donate, you have to do it in 500 increments. They won't accept less than 500. But this is the key point. The company, Aegean Airways, will triple those points. That makes it good, you see.
Aegean is a fantastic airline. We always said that.
Absolutely.
It's totally true. But here I had an email in for somebody talking about the Greek health workers because they're getting clapped, they're getting so much attention at the moment. He said, well, Greece only has over 2,000 cases.
So the figures tell us.
So it's the thing. So, and the question from them was, it's okay, but with a country of 11 million, you got 2,000 compared to the UK with over 70,000.
Yes.
Now it is,
and there's 65.
So
million.
he understands that they're having a stress at the NHS, but with 11 million citizens, and 2,000 cases, how can the hospitals be overworked?
I don't know. That's a good case. I can't quickly answer
it took me to a straightforward question. Okay, they're making so much fuss about it, but they only had 2,000 cases. They didn't have that big. Italy, Spain, France, Germany, United Kingdom had. No, they had this smaller amount. But why are they so stressed with this smaller amount? What's happened when they have 15, 20, 25,000 cases?
I don't know.
And it's a fair question, and I can't answer that one.
It is, but also let's not get too carried away. That it's not over yet, and
Of course not.
who knows whether Greece has actually reached its peak of infections? We can't answer that question. We simply
No,
don't know.
definitely not.
So
And,
I think
we don't
maximum
know.
caution. You heard Thomas say yesterday that the local hospital here on Corfu has doubled its ICU unit by 100%. So, it's not over yet. It isn't.
No, definitely.
We hope, obviously, we don't want a plethora of cases, for sure. But I wouldn't like to call the fact that it's the end of the pandemic here in Greece by any means. I would absolutely be idiotic. I'll always be as idiotic as Donald Trump's attempts to be a doctor.
But I mean, a good valid question. Maybe you guys can answer that. So why are they so overworked when they have only a small amount of cases? They should be easily be able to cope with that. So that was the comment we got in. What do you think about it? Let us know, please, because I don't know what to make out of that. You know, it is a stressful time because you have the quarantine. There's a lot of measures what they have taken in place. And one thing they really did well, they disinfected everywhere, everything. So there is a lot of workers out there doing a fantastic job, from the health workers, from the delivery drivers, from especially the cleaners who are on the roads.
Always the cleaners.
It's always exactly
they
are
have the
hardest,
hardest job, actually.
Totally.
Really.
So of course they caught it early. They made the right decision early. They didn't hang around debating for a week, 2 or 3. They just did it, And I think that's what the key, responding, not thinking economically, think people first. And there the Greeks were leading.
Absolutely, Thomas. You would have thought that would have put the population's lives first on the top of the list of priorities and not the economy. Although a lot of people I know strongly disagree with what I've just said. They are banging on about, we must get the economy going, otherwise the whole system will be in complete meltdown and all economies will fail. But there would be no economy without the health and lives of the people that run the economy.
That's exactly. If they all sick, how you want to
chicken and egg, isn't it, really? What's the first, what's the most important? Human life has got to be the most important.
Definitely, I totally agree with that. One, human life should be more important. But, at the same time, they have to make sure they can feed everybody. They can sustain that whole thing. So change is going to come, definitely.
Big
life
time.
Not going to be the same as it was before.
No.
But I think it's going to be... we're not gonna be worse off. I think it's gonna be readjusting.
There will be good things as well as bad, maybe, but
of
more
course.
good. And hydroponics, going back to that subject again, will have a much stronger and important role to play. I'm sure of it. After this epidemics pass by,
the whole thing. That's why I say I'm going. Dr. Claire, maybe she can put this up from the Earthship. What her cousin is doing. It's a great idea, and they're building for several years now. But they have a house next. They built. What will become the workshop.
Great.
So it's great. So they live there, have the workshop with the same thing, and build that beautiful Earthship. And it's great. It's really, you have to look in. There were even Australian station making a clip about that. So it's a 10-minute clip, and you can see a little bit. It's great. So, but that's the way forward, definitely.
Totally,
and now with the new hydrogen.
Yes, the
cell are great.
Fuel cells,
what a fuel cell! They finally cracked that one.
They have, because the problem with hydrogen is the sheer weight that you have to carry around in your tank to get anywhere. I think I read that the maximum on a normal hydrogen car was about 100 miles or so distance before you needed to fill up. Well, not anymore. They've developed this new system it's like a sponge, and it's like a mesh, isn't it? You explained to me the other day. And this mesh can hold a tremendous amount of literage.
It absorbs
so the overall weight of the car is way down when you've got a full tank of hydrogen gas. And hydrogen is incredibly environmentally friendly and a real clean fuel, because the only residue that it emits and you get left with is, guess what? Water. Fantastic.
What a great solution that is. So I think it's turning into the right way. It's turning into a positive way. We can make now changes. I think it's an opportunity to make changes for the better, and that's already worth doing. That's worth being locked down for the moment.
It is. I mean, the big oil firm Shell have been testing out hydrogen for about 10 years in a select few markets around the world, one of which was Japan. I lost track of the results. But at that time, you remember 10 years ago, they were looking at sugarcane in Brazil for being an alternative fuel. But I think we can agree with now this new storage ability for hydrogen fuel cells. Maybe hydrogen is going to be the cleaner way forward for motor cars. Where that leaves electric cars, I'm not sure. I still know that there is an amount of recharging stations right across the world. Actually, United Kingdom springs to mind. Yes, they're getting there, but they're still way off. And when Boris Johnson says, oh, the UK is going to ban petrol and diesel by 2030, I can only say good luck. I mean, oh, by the way, Boris, did you find your chemicals for the test kits yet? We never heard back about that, did we, Thomas?
No, that's another thing. You know
what
what's
happened to
happening.
those chemicals?
I have no idea, but you know what? He's still not talking to us, as Nikos pointed out. So maybe he never will again.
Maybe he should talk to us here on live on Lockdown SK. We challenge you, Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, Mr. Boris Johnson, to give us a ring and put your point of view. We might be slagging you off, but we actually want to give you a right of reply.
We just say what we think. It's the same what he
does.
Heart,
by the way.
Exactly. So it's the same what he does. He says what he sings most of the time. No, that's what gets him into problems.
Yes, but it's, our rationale is one of peace, love, and harmony. That's what we're about here at StudioKerkyra. Can Mr. Johnson say the same? I don't know.
I don't think so.
No.
Well, let's go over and let's give a big shout out today, because we have a shout out for some help, and we said this in another show a couple of days ago, but I have to bring this up again, and that's Silverland.
Oh, yes, that wonderful
That's
animal
very
sanctuary
important.
that started off by protecting a particular species of horses, but now has opened its doors to stray cats and dogs, I do believe, and we did feature them the other day. Oh, there they are on screen. That's great.
It's great. Yeah, that's Silverland. So if you want to join that, go on to Facebook, go in Silverland. You can see this here now on the screen, and that's a fantastic organization, and they protected a rare species from extinction, and they are asking now, because they can't run their business as usual, and they're having a lot of problems, and they give a lot of support themselves when they're up and running, but now they need our help. And I'm just scrolling through here, and there I see there's a lot of videos, a lot of pictures on there from the things happening, and here's also the call for help, and we hope you are all keeping safe during these rough times. The team of Silverland says all the animals here at Silverland are doing okay so far, but as we have been closed since beginning of March without any income, it is becoming increasingly difficult to find money to pay for the feed and care of all the animals.
Must be.
So we are asking for your help, please. If you can make any donation to help us to buy feed and hay, please get in contact with us through Facebook, by messaging, or by messaging to the mobile number 6987261727. So when you go onto the site, you can see that it's 6987261727. And on this telephone, they're gonna be the lovely Anthina, and she is more than happy to answer all your questions, please. And they really, and when we spoke with them, yeah?
You did the other day, yes.
We called them quickly, we had a quick talk with them. What they also need is dog food there. They're looking after quite a few dogs at the same time. So if somebody knows there and can just drive past and throw two bag of dog food in or something, that would be already appreciated. But otherwise, how to donate, how to help out, please go onto this Facebook page and call the number or send them a message, and they were gonna give you instructions. And here I'm just going over, and let's have a look.
Oh, they're jolly, aren't they?
That's now I'll make this a little bit bigger. Have this here, look.
Yeah, go on.
So that's the horses. So that's the breed they saved. So that's not the breed they saved.
There we go.
And here, look at that, man.
Sweetie, isn't he?
I mean, you can't. It's really worth doing. So it's a lot of animals what suffer at the moment. So don't, also stray cats and dogs at the moment, please don't stop feeding them. Carry on doing so, looking after that. But here is a good cause. So if you could find it in your heart to help, please do so.
Yes, that's a great cause there, Thomas, and well done for all those volunteers who are saving those animals and looking after all the strays. There are a lot of strays, sadly, on this island of Corfu. We're forever hearing heart-rending stories from people around us and our viewers. But the good news is a lot of wonderful animal charities on this island. Silverland is one of those. There's the Ark, there's Agni Dogs and Cats as well. And what's that one of our friends writes in something cats, isn't it? Not Cassiope cats, it's something else I can't remember.
The what, sorry?
I
just read the
message. Cats one. No,
the cats.
There's a cat one up in the northeast, but I can't remember what it's called. They're a follower.
I know the followers. I'm just thinking.
Please write in and remind me.
We're getting so many messages in. It's great, guys. Thank you for the whole. Margaret Johnson is writing in. Boris might be back at work on Monday. Maybe he'll contact you. So
Maybe,
Margaret, that would be
wonderful.
interesting.
I hope you're enjoying your glass of wine there, and I hope it's Corfu Ep37 red, Margaret.
Definitely. And Lavinia says the ICU beds have been doubled in the hospital here, but they are still 50% understaffed. Many medical staff everywhere are concentrating on COVID-19 to the detriment of other very sick patients. So
yes,
it's quite a thing when you're understaffed. That's another thing then, you know.
Absolutely. That's also very evident in the United Kingdom. I was going to run a story about the big C, which is a horrible thing that affects so many millions of people every year across the globe, which is that awful word cancer. Cancer Research UK are extremely worried in the United Kingdom throughout this COVID-19 pandemic. There's so many people not getting their follow-up appointments, not getting screened, not getting tested. And I think they're up to the extent of 2,700 people are not being tested, and 400 breast screenings aren't happening a week either. So this is absolutely terrible. And yes, the people that deny COVID-19 point to this. Oh, cancer kills more, and they should be. They've got a point that cancer needs to be looked at. The government advice in the United Kingdom, by the way, was a simple one-liner I read. Oh, just phone your GP. The very thing that they were telling us not to do a few weeks ago.
Exactly. So and now it's changing, but it is. I think it's the situation what changes too, and slowly they're gonna wake up. I'm gonna bet with you. Does the outlook, or let me say it this way, does Prime Minister Boris Johnson for sure sees life now after that scare in a different light?
Yes, I would.
And that could be a good influence. I believe.
It should be. Logic would state that, wouldn't it? And let's hope it is. Absolutely, Thomas. Yes, totally. Do you want to hear another bit of good news, or are you going to read out some messages?
And Julie Kam is saying there's a guy in Kalami looks after stray cats.
Let's
go on. Yes,
well done. You know better than you know our program better than we do. Do you want a job? Great, thank you. Hey, that's the power of the digital platform. That proves that Lockdown SK is working. This exchange of interactive ideas, fantastic, and knowledge. Knowledge is an important thing, of course.
Exactly, and there the message is coming in. Vivian is saying Boris has to go to get his bleach from Trump. First, the magical bleach injection. So they're gonna probably share the same syringe. But sorry, man. And Margaret Johnston is writing in lol. Unfortunately, it's not Greek wine. Should be there now. So imagining
it instead. Margaret, that's the best thing to do. Absolutely. Yeah. Brilliant.
And Jackie Cherry said, and don't please forget Lefkimi Dog Shelter. Yes,
that's
another one.
Us.
Because we're just putting something together for all these institutions now and for all these lovely people. So we can help to support you and maybe raise some funds for you. And what we spoke the other day, and I think this is something
that
totally
would be great, wouldn't it?
Doable. And Lavinia is asking me why we don't speak with Sylvia at Silverlands, the founder. She speaks perfect English and is
we will.
True, delightful lady. We're gonna do that because we got another proposal for her where we can effectively raise some funds for them. So we got a couple of proposals there. If you want to help us there, Vinny, please do so, and we're gonna shoot this over, and so also do the other ones. So when we go to check it, the Lefkimi Dog Shelter, they of course need support. So let's get as much information, please, as possible. If you guys can send me by email more and more information about that, we can plug that. We gonna show that also on screen and see if we can put some events together, what we came up with, Aid and me, to help raise some funds.
That would be great. Yes, we've always been talking about charity fundraisers, and I know Steve Ford was talking to us last year about doing something for children's homes and other charitable causes that he follows here. But let's do one for the animals as well, and that would be amazing, Thomas.
see, we got a mobile live stream control room. That's all we need, and we can still keep to the social distancing,
Yes, it's
but
possible.
raising funds.
Yeah.
So, and there we got a few good ideas. So we bounce them to you guys, and you let us know then what's possible and what's not. But Silverland, we
Fantastic.
got something left in the dog shelter we can for sure do, and anything else, please let us know. We're more than happy to do that.
Totally. And there we are, interaction and collaboration at work, in the raw. That's what we like. And that's the way that will see us through as a human race on this planet, won't it?
Totally. And you know what? Somehow we're coming into our element now, because there's a lot of things going on where it's now, you know, it's the speakers. They have to do this online. So it's like
Yes.
mobile control rooms or live stream control rooms like we have here, that comes in its own now. And that's, you know, we just need the camera feed from the speaker, nothing else. Everything else, from graphics, from inlays, is all done
We can do
remotely
it all,
here.
yeah.
We can start, we can finish that, so they can concentrate on their speaking. So that's something, if you're interested, get in contact with us here. We can talk about that. And of course, we're gonna not forget charities at the same time.
No, and that will be taking rather a fringe technology to be making it mainstream, this live
Totally.
streaming. It's a bit of a niche market,
But it's now
I
the
think
importance. Now they
mainstream,
see the
it's-
importance.
yeah,
Now they see, you know, before they smiled a little bit about it. But now you see all the, there's a lot of colleagues of mine from the industry who set now their own control rooms up at home and start doing that. No? And
Yes.
they said, you know, guys, you're brilliant. You guys got the van. So effectively, you can move too. We can only sit in one location, and that's it, and serve customers. But you can do
When we're
remotely,
allowed,
and
we
when we're
can
allowed,
indeed,
yeah, for our layout,
For sure.
it's a different ball game, of course.
Yes, and we are looking forward to bringing you these live broadcasts once we can, and charity fundraisers. Why not? The BBC did a really big, massive event last night. I think they raised over £27 million, and there was I haven't seen any of it, I'm afraid, as I'm not able to watch it, but I do believe there was a sketch with Stephen Fry and the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge, which went down
great.
very well, I heard.
Great ideas,
Great,
and
yes,
see, they all
superb.
come together, and that's
Where
the
was
beauty
Harry
to
and
see.
Meghan, I wonder? Wonder where they were in all that.
I have no idea.
Too busy in Hollywood, maybe.
Yeah, you know, but when
Do you know
can't let
something
them-
very sad, Thomas? I've heard that all
It's-
his army mates are very depressed that he's lost contact with them, because Harry was quite a go-getter. He did 2
It's a
terms
good-
at
good
least
man.
for the armed services of the UK
Yeah.
abroad, Afghanistan being one of them. He was a helicopter pilot, wasn't he? Apache
Yeah,
helicopters,
very
I
good,
think.
very good too.
And his mates have lost contact with him. Such a
So,
shame, isn't it?
It's the same, but you know what? This is when life progresses, things like that happen. But I have now sad news, and the sad news is the hour is gone. It's time again to say goodbye in a
there is
minute.
one
No,
more bit
no,
of good
no.
news. I'm not going to let you get away from
Okay,
that.
you got a bit of good news,
tiny
and I
bit.
got a couple of pictures what hopefully make you smile.
Yes. Well, you want to go first?
No, go
No,
first.
save the pictures to last. We mentioned Vietnam the other day, Thomas. We mentioned it in that a viewer on Twitter mentioned the fact that Vietnam had an 8-day head start on this wretched COVID-19 over and above the UK way back in January. They're still claiming 268 cases and no deaths. I don't know how accurate those figures are, but that does seem extraordinary to me. They brought in lockdown and other measures, disinfection and social distancing, extremely early ahead of the UK. But that's not what I'm going to say. I'm going to say I'm highlighting Vietnam because here's a heart-rending story that touched my heart here. 2 children, I don't know how old they were. They're called Nan and Khoi. And they've been saving up what's out in Vietnam, a thing called lucky money. And they've been saving this for ages and ages. And now they've collected enough lucky money to buy, would you believe, 20,000 medical masks, and have sent them in a UK transport plane all the way to the UK. How about that? 2 Vietnamese children getting hold of 20,000 masks, and they're flown with a repatriation flight, I should say, that landed in the UK the other day. Small story you may have missed, but that's children collecting in Vietnam for NHS people here in the
Unbelievable.
UK. And that's the power of love and the power of collaboration.
It is totally, and this takes you nowhere. I say, okay, this gives you one feeling around your heart.
Exactly.
And as I see, the humanity is still
Totally.
here.
That's why I said the
That's
story.
the beauty.
Because it's there, guys.
It's great, guys. Thank you all for the messages in. I'm getting a lot in. Melita is saying nobody raises money like the Brits.
No,
So-
look at that Tom Moore.
so
What a
unbelievable.
hero. What an
Yeah.
extraordinary man at 99. Oh, soon to be 100 years old, and he raised over 27 million. I'm sure the clock's still ticking upwards. Absolutely fantastic. But you're right, Melita. And don't forget, Bedford is the most giving town in the United Kingdom, would you believe? In fact, one of the ones in the world, according to GoFundMe website.
It's great, yeah. And there's a lot more coming in. Susan Patch is watching. Hi, Susie. Danke fürs Zuschauen. Und Will Nasseri, glad to join you from Egypt, is watching. How great.
Hello. Yes,
good.
hello, Wazil. Good luck and happy Ramadan to you and all your family, particularly your parents and the gentleman who lives in your farm, your neighbour. I can't remember their names, I'm so sorry, but they're all great people, Thomas. And Egypt is such an amazing
country too, yeah.
Oh,
I know.
unbelievable.
The whole planet is amazing.
Of course it is, Thomas. And we've only got one of it, so we've got to look after it and look after each other as well.
Exactly. So that brings me on over to say quickly hello to Dawn Dodson. We forgot her. Dawn is doing, and Jeff is doing so much for these three animals here.
And Agni,
so
no, I mentioned them.
Agni, you got this in, and Ian Fern in St. George South. He's doing a lot for the cats. So guys, thank you so much. Vivian is writing in, I think Corfu Airport could raise funds like this in Ireland. We have an airport called Knock.
Oh, yes, yes.
And to leave the airport to fly any place, everyone has to pay 10 euros. So
okay.
that's the way of doing it if you want to fly.
Doing it. Yes, okay. I think the concept of leaving something, donating something is a good one. I don't know, about 10 euros. That's almost more than airport passenger tax, I think, in some flights. But yes, why not, Vivian? If people can pay that, then so much the better, obviously. We all benefit from that one. That's a great idea. Good.
Definitely.
Rather than profits to shareholders and in the back pockets of executives.
No. But we got a couple of good ideas, and we're going to approach the people around here, and we make something happen, of course. But as I said, we're running far over, man. But this is okay, why not? But that's all really.
It's Friday.
We have time for the. It's Friday. We can let the hair down a little bit, of course. But
you
before I go, you want to see the pictures?
To see some pictures. I haven't seen them, so I don't know what you're going to show on screen.
Okay, the first picture. Just want to remind everybody: if you heard this message from the beautiful President Trump, about
beautiful. Well, I suppose that's quite a good word to use because he had a beautiful phone call.
I think he said something different, so I had to stop myself.
Oh, right, okay, good one. Sorry, Ofcom, you didn't get us that time.
Please do and go and mark yourself safe from Donald Trump's medical advice today.
Good one.
Because it's really crazy. But I found another guy.
Okay.
And I think he knows a little bit more than President Trump because he's doing quite well. And that's what you can do. That's a biodegradable mask, man.
Yes, absolutely. What a good use of a piece of lettuce leaf. Absolutely, yes. Very environmentally friendly. I wonder how effective it is with, well, I suppose it will catch his germs.
How effective it is with some salad dressing.
Absolutely. Mayonnaise, why not? Yes.
Okay.
Great picture, Thomas.
Brilliant, yeah. And I thought I give all our viewers today another picture because they were teasing us yesterday with the sun and with the worms. And I thought, okay, I'm gonna tease you a little bit so you don't forget this beautiful island of Corfu. And you say, so I wanna give you a quick reason to come back, because I know you want as soon as you see that. And that's all.
Oh, great picture, Thomas. Now we're really hungry. Thank you very much.
So that's what's waiting for you guys here.
And
so don't give up.
Look at that. That will make
everything there.
Bedford happy, won't it?
Yeah, it's everything there, man.
David and everybody else that
great, isn't it?
likes mythos. Yes.
Yeah, so that gives you a little bit of motivation not to give up. You never know what's going to happen. And we could be back in the holiday season quicker than we all think. And we hope and we really knock wood. But I hope this keeps you going until we back, until you back on this beautiful holiday island.
We're already here. We're not going anywhere.
We're not going anywhere. No. But okay, guys, thank you so much for writing. And if I forgot anything, I'm really, really sorry about that. I'm going to mention that tomorrow. But that's all we have time for today. Another show gone, episode 37. So slowly we're progressing and slowly we're getting better and better news now. So, and just to say thank you again, and we see you tomorrow, 6 p.m.
Absolutely. And as always, thank you very much for your time. Enjoy the rest of your day. Stay safe and have a very good afternoon to you all.